Good evening, Mr. Mutoti. Thank you so much for your time. So the conditions, according to your media release, are that it is supplied and administered in accordance with the Department of Health's vaccination plan and guidelines. Further conditions relate to reporting of the results of ongoing studies. I'm wondering if these conditions applied to the Johnson & Johnson approval by Sahpra are related to the fact that it's happened fairly quickly, in my understanding, of how long it would normally take to approve a vaccine by the health products regulator.
Okay, thank you very much for that brief intro. Yes, indeed. As the South African Health Product Regulatory Authority, what we have done is we have granted the conditional approval for the Johnson & Johnson vaccines, as you already highlighted. And this is because earlier we had drafted the specific guidelines that give guidance to all the manufacturers and applicants of the information that they must be submitting now, what we had classified or described as a rolling review submission. As a manufacturer gathering the information, they must submit it to Sahpra so that we can continuously do an assessment. And when we are happy with the data that we have, that it complies with the requirements for safety, efficacy, and quality, that's when we will grant the conditional approval so that we can facilitate and fast-track the process of vaccines availability in the country.
All right, so the conditions are linked to the fact that you just need to keep an eye on this vaccine. But I would imagine there's anyway going to be monitoring because safety is of paramount importance. And it's critical that this is done correctly. We've just heard the story from the United States of 15 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine ruined by human error. Does the health regulator get involved in any way in how the doses are manufactured and put together? How do you monitor for ongoing safety?
Okay. Thank you very much for that question. And indeed, as you have highlighted, if there are any safety concern, we continuously monitor the product even after use. And that's why there's stipulations and the conditions that are attached that the vaccines must be administered in terms of the relevant policies that has been drafted at the National Department of Health. And this includes monitoring of the administration of vaccine to relevant individuals so that we can continuously monitor if there are any safety risk after the administration of the vaccines. And in terms of manufacturing, and that's why we confirmed that in terms of relevant qualities, we also look at how the product was manufactured and where it was manufactured. Should there be any issue that talk to quality, and that's why in South Africa we also subject all our vaccines batches to our National Control Laboratory for release. And the release means we're going to test each and every batch so that we can confirm that indeed this is the batches and this is the potency, the identity of the product that is supposed to be. And that's what we do as a regulatory authority so that we can continuously safeguard the public by making available products that are of good quality, that are safe and effective in the country.
Well, that's reassuring to hear. I wonder if you could just update us on where we are with approval of other vaccines. We know that we're due to get some Pfizer vaccines, I think, through the COVAX facility. And if I'm not mistaken, Pfizer got some emergency use approval. What other COVID vaccines have got approval for use in South Africa, and what levels? Are they emergency? There's quite a few different levels because Johnson & Johnson, of course, was approved for the 3B trial. Now it's approved for this rollout for our full program. But what of Pfizer?
Okay. Thank you very much. Indeed, we have got a line of or a list of other products that are coming into South Africa, and these are from different manufacturers. And just to give an example of the few, I'm sure you're aware of the Sputnik vaccines, the Pfizer vaccines, as you have mentioned. We have had earlier the AstraZeneca vaccines that we've approved, and this is the first vaccines that we are approving or registering with the conditions. And of course, all other vaccines that are submitting the rolling submission, they will be approved if they meet all the requirements. And we might have to also do the same and attach the condition so that we can continuously monitor the product and the use of these products in the country. So that's the update with respect to other vaccines that I have. As indeed, there will be many that will come for registration to the regulatory authority for review.
Is Sahpra confident that the approval of the vaccines won't hold up the rollout of the vaccines? Is it that they simply aren't allowed into the country if we're importing them before they've been approved? Is that how it works?
Yes, I think in terms of the legislative mandate, in terms of the Act 101 of 1965, the South African Health Product Regulatory Authority, its mission is to safeguard the public, and the safeguarding, it means that we may not allow any product that we're not convinced of its safety, effectiveness, and of good quality, and that's why we do minimal assessment and we grant approval. Should there be a reason for us to attach the conditions, we'll attach condition because our requirements requires that we must protect the public.
How close are you to approving Pfizer, for example?
We are in engagement with Pfizer. We have had discussion even today, so we are engaging with them on a daily basis, and soon we should be pronouncing on the outcome of our assessment.
Well, that's good news indeed, and thank you so much for your time this evening. We do appreciate it. The South African Health Product Regulatory Authority's Biological Medicine Manager, Kamusi Mutoti.